and Lewis Binek. They're alongside Junior Rokika, 2 tries against Bradford, and Matthew Garside, coached by the very, very promising coach Andrew Henderson. Featherstone had a 52 points to 10 win over Dewsbury, scoring 10 tries. 2 of those came from a man returning from a knee injury. Jason Walton pleased his coach in his return, wearing the number 22 shirt today. He's in the centres. The other centre, the very talented Missy Talupapa. And another man that made a return from injury against Dewsbury is Frankie Mariano, had fractured his arm, and another welcome returnee for John Sharp. Otherwise, it's unchanged for Featherstone, both in their starting 13 and on the bench, where it's Matthew Wiley, Darryl Griffin, Brad Tagg and Jack Ormonroyd. The coach, John Sharp. And both John Sharp and Andrew Henderson, Phil Clark, spoke during the week about their love of the Summer Bash and the spectacular event it can become, but more importantly, the big stage they get to show their players on. These are 2 teams that can light up the big stage.
Brian, of the 6 games that we're going to show over the Summer Bash, this is the one that I've been most excited about seeing. We've got the consistently competitive Featherstone Rovers, who we know under John Sharp play at a very high level. We saw them recently play in the Challenge Cup and defeat the Halifax side. Looking like they'll do well in the middle 8 qualification period that we're going to have in a few weeks' time, against the side that I would say are the form team of the championship. In recent times, you've talked about the try-scoring ability of this London side, and as we saw last year, when perhaps the squad strength wasn't that deep, they were a pretty entertaining side to watch when they played against the sides dropping down from the Super League. I remember one contest when London played at home against Leeds, and they fought back and scored some scintillating tries with people like Kieran Dixon on the wing again. I think this should be, and very well will be, the match of the Summer Bash.
Both of the coaches have spoken about their future ambitions of these 2 teams. It lies beyond the championship. They're looking for Super League return for London and a Super League appearance for Featherstone. When you look at both of these squads, Phil, do you see the nucleus of potentially a Super League team?
I see the foundations in place. They'll need to build on that with a really impressive performance. We saw the match between Wigan and St Helens on Thursday night, and that has to be the benchmark that these 2 teams certainly aim for. And if they can display the qualities of control of the ball, the intensity and pace with which those sides play needs to be mirrored here again to give these teams a belief. This isn't just about 2 points, this game. This is a significant stepping stone to what they hope to do later in the season, which is to defeat some Super League sides. And to do it, they need to play well when the pressure's on them. For me, that's when the cameras, the spotlights are shining on the sides, and they need to make sure that they're error-free as much as possible, and they convert every little chance into points wherever they can.
John Sharp of the Featherstone Rovers adapting very well and benefiting from a very good relationship with the Leeds Rhinos. They'll have Corey Aston in the halves today. They'll have Jack Ormonroyd on the bench. But it was 2 returnees from injury I mentioned in the team lineups, Jace Walton and Frankie Mariano, that really pleased John Sharp. He's got a full squad now, Phil. Let's talk about Jason Walton and what he can bring to the side. I've seen energy and enthusiasm from him, a difficult man to stop out wide.
Well, in some ways, he's a very... he reminds me a little bit of Barry McDermott. He's powerful, he's dynamic, isn't he? I think it is, because close to your try line, there were very few people who could stop one-on-one Barry McDermott. And Jason Walton has that similar power, some good footwork as well. He will be very dangerous. Do you know, 12 months ago we sat at this ground and one young player caught my eye, playing for Swinton on that occasion, called Liam Marshall. 12 months later, he is a star of the Super League. And there's every potential when one looks at the 2 sides on offer here today, that in a year's time, somebody from this match just might be lighting up the Super League side. Possibly for the team they're playing with here today, but it would be a remarkable achievement for both of them to do it. I'm fascinated to see what the standard and intensity of this match can be.
It is the championship version of the Magic Weekend. If you cast your minds back to Magic Weekend up in Murrayfield in 2010, a man that announced himself on the scene in spectacular fashion was Jared Samet. Got 2 tries last week against the Bradford Bulls. He can light up a stage like that for the London Broncos. He can bring spark to this side.
Well, this Summer Bash is about entertainment for the fans there and the people watching at home. I think that all of the sides are aware that they have to do something special to catch the eye and certainly to entertain the flat cappers, as you see the Featherstone side supporters. They're cheering on their team as they enter the pitch. It's a great situation. At the moment, the weather's still dry. We've got good conditions for ball movement, and we've got players who naturally like to keep the ball alive. Second in the line there, Jared Samet. never forget, really. He's a maverick player, isn't he? Prepared to try different things, something that will certainly help tonight.
He arrived in 2010, he said, for a 3-year stay in the country. 7 years later and a few clubs later, he is still here, and he's starring for the London Broncos. We'll keep a close eye on his performance throughout this match. All right, we can go to your commentary team now. They are waiting ahead of this game. As I said, the two form teams of the championship, the match Phil Clark has been most eagerly awaiting. He's going to go and join the commentary team with Terry O'Connor and led by Bill Arthur.
Thank you, Brian. And Featherstone Rovers keen to erase memories of last year in Blackpool when they got well and truly bashed by Halifax 37-0 in the game that brought the curtain down on the 2016 Summer Bash event. It was a painful experience for Featherstone Rovers, and they're hoping that this time it's going to be them inflicting the pain on their top four rivals in the Kingston Press Championship, the London Broncos. Gareth Ewer from Cumbria is the referee for this one. The players waiting patiently for their turn to take the stage here. The Broncos fans have ridden into town. They're outnumbered by the Featherstone posse, but we still should have one heck of a game. Frankie Mariano just sizes up the opposition, who are in good form. Both these sides in good form. London are seeking their 6th successive win. Featherstone, well, even better form for them. They've won 6 in a row. They're after their 7th here. And it's London Broncos in this retro kit who get the first touch of the ball. This kit that recalls their 1997 era when they were based at the Stoop. And things were going well for them. Well, they're looking to recapture that status.
There'll be a number of coaches in the bottom end of Super League looking at this game, seeing who they could be playing in those middle eight qualifiers. London, the back line is so exciting. Every one of the back line have played in Super League, so they've got an awful lot of experience. They've got some power in the forwards up against a Featherstone side that you look at the spine in Ian Hardman, Thackeray, Keil Carlisle. We've got some of the best players in the championship playing in this game, Bill.
Well, they're just over the halfway. That's the 5th tackle, and it'll be the boot of William Bartow as he hoists that one. And Ian Hardman gathers that one safely, claimed it inside his own in-goal area. The wind has just picked up a bit. It's a strange sort of end to the day. We've had sunshine and heat earlier on, but definitely changing, cooling down, bit of a breeze swirling around, grey skies overhead now, but still the conditions pretty good for these two sides.
Good defence there now from the London side. When they're gaining ground without the ball, you know your team are up for it. And the Broncos look at that today.
Here's Richard Moore, still going strong, 35 years of age, and a former London player, of course. Moore, he had a couple of spells in the Broncos colours. Anthony Thackeray just pointing the way. And Featherstone Rovers making good progress this set of 6. That's 4 tackles gone, as Thackeray drops the ball off to Frankie Mariano, cuts back in field, tackled by Daniel Harrison and Mark Offerdal. Quick hands now. Here is Walton.
He's the big key playmaker, Anthony Thackeray. Every time that they get towards the back end of the players, he's going to be the man who steps up. He's the key indicator to where that ball's going.
London be happy with that. They managed to snuff out that Featherstone Rovers attack as they went for the power play on the last tackle. Walton was stopped.
This London side will open it up from anywhere on the field. You look at the last 5 games that they've played, they've scored an average of 48 points. So they're a confident side that look to play anywhere on the field. He's done a very good job with them, the coach Andrew Henderson.
Ben Evans plays the ball, and London with Jay Pitts. And now here's Mark Ioane, and that's the first penalty of the game. The high tackle on the London prop, just on the halfway line. And Gareth Ewer saying Lockwood went high.
He's got a big step on here, hasn't he, Ioane? Every time we've seen him on Sky Sports, he's powerful when he carries the ball. He can hit in defence. And Lockwood gives away the first penalty of this game.
So can London capitalise? It's with Ben Evans, the Welsh international. Just getting back to fitness, Ben Evans. Had a bad groin injury pre-season. Short pass, finds Jay Pitts. Once to the Bradford Bulls. Next up, the Bulls. Pitts looking at the referee, claiming that he was obstructed there. There's a Featherstone player still down. I think it's John Davis after that tackle. Davis is still out.
Sensibly, the referee has stopped the game here, hasn't he? Recognised that Davis hasn't moved since that. There were 3 Featherstone men involved in the tackle. The physio's got to just about in time here now as the first break.
They're running hard, aren't they? I think it's Jay Pitts. When he goes in, he's carrying a ball. And it's one of his own teammates, Missy Talapapa, who lands on top of him. On John Davis, the ex-Cas player. You just see he goes down, all of a sudden Missy Talapapa straight on top of his head.
Who needs the opposition when your own teammates go and land on top of you like that? John Sharp, as ever, very calm up in the stands, but very keen.
Head injury. I don't see how he doesn't leave the field there then.
Very keen for his side, John Sharp, to atone for last year's performance. But here come London with their first opportunity of the game.
Nice sweeping attacking lines from London as they shift that ball wide.
Samet just drops it off to Ben Evans, and Evans is stopped in his tracks by the Featherstone defenders, defending that try line in front of their own supporters. Here goes Daniel Harrison, and Harrison is held up on the try line, and that'll be the turnover. So that both sides going for the power play, neither one coming up with the goods.
But when they go short side, pick out probably the biggest player on that left-hand side for Featherstone. Jason Walton, a very good defender. We've seen him come up with some brilliant players when he was at Batley. Powerful defender.
So now Featherstone having to work the ball from deep inside their own half. Their supporters in good heart, but that's a knock-on, says the referee. Lockwood fumbled it in the view of referee Gareth Hewer.
Well, this is a poor mistake, isn't it? To lose the ball in the attempt to restart play the ball. He's fumbled it off the knee. One of the teams talk about being error-free in that first 10 minutes. It's impossible, I suppose, over the course of a full game not to make a single mistake. But one inside the first 5 minutes is a costly one, as it invites London here now to show us what they've got with this special attacking play.
Massive game in the shake-up in the Kingston Press Championship. Featherstone second, London Broncos fourth in the table. They've got Halifax breathing down their necks. Halifax, who have to lose to place another one of those qualifiers rivals. So it really is a big weekend in that respect as Ioane plays the ball. Cunningham. Samet now, and Samet gets the pass away to Offerdal. He's tackled again. Good work by Featherstone. On the crash comes Ioane, but Ioane has stopped. More good defence. Hardman putting himself in the way there. Little kick from Grubber, kick comes in. Samet will touch it down. The kick from Bartow. The finish from Jared Samet. And the first points of the game go to the London Broncos. And Jared Samet gets his 15th try of the season. Yeehaw! Say those Broncos supporters.
Well, he's an opportunist, isn't he, Jared Samet? Certainly can play, backs himself, just runs into space. A clever kick from William Bartow. And this is the mistake from Lockwood. Gives the field position, turns the ball over to London. Said they've got some very good outside backs. And look at that clever little kick. It was a little nod, it was a little wink. Keys it up well for his half-back partner. Stays onside. There's some discipline in that play as well. And there's the opening try for London.
It's a perfect kick. He even gets it to bounce up favourably in front of his eyes, so it's easiest to take in. Grounds it before the dead ball line. And they've just gone to show that if Featherstone make a mistake, they can capitalise on it.
He's been around, Jared Samet, as Phil was saying. He arrived for 3 seasons, and 7 he's still here, and he's gone from one end of the country to the other, from playing his rugby league in Cumbria with Workington, and now he's in the west of London with the London Broncos and getting the first try of this game. Kieran Dixon is the Broncos goal kicker. They've got 1 or 2 options. Samet can kick them as well. In fact, he's kicked the bulk of them this season. But Dixon getting this first one of the game. back in London colours after his spell with Hull Kingston Rovers, Kieran Dixon, and he converts that. The Broncos lead by 6 points to 0.
Well, who can forget his first appearance under Henderson? Will be happy to go ahead in the league. But Jared Sammett's first appearance, I remember, at Magic, back up in Murrayfield, as we say, was it 7 years ago? It's chip and chase, and he's got that individual brilliance about him. He'll be hoping he can ally that to a team effort, and this will be a very significant victory if they can pick it up.
Well, London will be hoping that it's not an omen, because Jared Sammett actually scored the first try of the game when they met at Featherstone in April, and Featherstone went on to win 38 points to 18. So they'll be hoping that it's not a repeat of that, and that they can build on this start. Featherstone, well, paying the price for those errors. Here's the United States international Mark Offerdahl, and that's a careless offload, and it's conceded possession to Featherstone, just where they don't want it, about 25 metres out, and Featherstone with bags of tackles in the bag.
Well, Bill, he's just got to keep pulling it. He was dominating in tackle. He can't panic. He's just got to get to ground as quick as he can. Offloads the ball, puts his team under pressure. 10 metres now from the line.
This could be a short-lived lead for the London Broncos, because Thackeray's setting them going. And Frankie Mariano is tackled by Daniel Harrison, but they're ever so close to that line, and Richard Moore was trying to turn and give the pass away. They do well to wrap him up there to London and deny him the opportunity. 4 tackles gone, though. Still danger here. Thackeray trying to work the opening himself. Jay Pitts claiming he'd knocked that on. The danger isn't gone yet, but now it potentially is, because Alex Walker, the fullback, scoops that ball up.
Well, Anthony Thackeray pulls that ball back when William Bartow jumps the line. And here now, Featherstone, they give a penalty away. They're trying to get up, force the mistake from the Broncos.
I thought it was a brilliant pick-up from Alex Walker, didn't he, to predict and anticipate where the kick would be placed, in the position to take it, and London just playing the game half a second quicker. There he is. Feels it like a cricketer on the boundary.
It was a poor kick from Keil Carlisle, wasn't it? They got caught out on that set of 6, I think. Featherstone, and the frustration, giving that penalty away, all of a sudden, they go from attacking near London's line to defending in their own half.
Featherstone in great shape, though. 6 consecutive league and cup wins. They've got a cup quarter-final against Leeds to look forward to, a game you'll be able to see on Sky Sports next month. And they ran up their highest score of the season when they hammered Dewsbury last time out, so they really are in good form, confident mood going into this game. But so are their opponents, London, who, well, since that defeat at Featherstone, have got their act together. And it's London in possession now with Rhys Williams, another of the Welsh internationals in this London side.
He's a little powerhouse, isn't he, Rhys Williams?
Here's Bartow again, and Bartow, oh, cunning little kick into the middle of the field, and they could be in for a second try. They are, and it's Walker. Alex Walker has got a second London try, or has he? Gareth Ewer is asking video ref Robert Hicks to have a look at this.
Check the offside, please.
Onside, offside is the call. Bartow again with the kick, and this time it was the fullback Alex Walker.
Well, so influential, isn't he, William Bartow? Look at him again, he goes at the line. He's pulling those defenders across to him, up towards him. Nice weighted kick, Alex Walker. Well, there's no problem with the grounding. He gets rid of Thackeray. Yeah, that's a try, not a problem. Again, disciplined chase from London.
Surely a 4th try of the season it is for Alex Walker. And it's the boot of Bartow again doing the trick. The French international putting that one on a plate for the 21-year-old Scots World Cup squad member, potentially.
Well, London have visited the Featherstone line on 3 occasions and twice come up with tries. A great kick again from William Bartow. Deceives the defenders, runs in one direction and kicks it in the other. Even though he's outnumbered, Walker has the urgency to collect that ball, and hopefully he'll put his side 12-0 ahead inside the first 12 minutes.
Alex Walker, very much homegrown talent from Hertfordshire, and come through the Broncos ranks. So William Bartow, on the other hand, is in his 3rd season with the Broncos. Kieran Dixon bang in front of the post to extend this London Broncos lead. kicking towards the end of the ground where the Featherstone Rovers are just trying to make sense of what they're seeing, because their team really hasn't got going in this game. And the Flat Cappers are trailing 12-0.
Well, William Bartow totally in control of this game. He's got to look at the defensive line, set the field position. All of a sudden, when he gets to plays the defensive line where they want him, and he pushes that man into that space, Alex Walker. That's a brilliant try, well executed. Second try from the second kick from that man, William Bartow.
And London's task is to elongate the period before Featherstone can get into the game, Bill, by maintaining the concentration and control of possession as they've got right now.
So Featherstone Rovers restart. They've been guilty of one or two errors. They've conceded penalties as well, and London have made good use of that advantage. Ioane, the Auckland-born prop, plays the ball. Now here's Offerdal.
They're just quite happy taking the ball forward. Couple of strong carries. Daniel Harrison looking to be dominated, put onto his back from Frankie Mariano. Just don't go away from what's working for you, and all of a sudden the things that are working for you is getting forward, rushing in numbers, and just turn the ball over to your 7 and 6.
On the last, and Bartow will this time get some height on that kick. It's not a bad one either, but Hardman is rock solid underneath that. In his testimonial season with Featherstone Rovers, Ian Hardman.
He's got all the experience in the world, hasn't he, Ian Hardman? He had to be brave under that ball as well.
So both wingers there, Briscoe and Turner, have had a run. Talapapi feeds it out wide to Walton, but all of the backs have been required because the defensive work that Featherstone have done to try and just give them a breather for a set. And maybe they'll come to life here now on the end of this kick.
Could do with a penalty of their own, Featherstone Rovers.
They could do with that field position there, London's line, couldn't they?
As it is, they're going to have to kick from inside their own half. A deep kick, and Walker underneath it. Not really pressured, but a good wall of Featherstone players to greet him when he does return the ball. Now Rhys Evans, very prolific try-scoring winger, Rhys Evans. That's why London have signed him up for another couple of years.
When you look at Rhys Evans linking up with that man Elliot Kerr, his centre. On the other side, Kieran Dixon, Michael Channing, an awful lot of experience, all explosive. They've got very good speed. This man's been very impressive, hasn't he, in the opening 14 minutes, Ioane?
Once a junior Kiwi, Mark Ioane. Come on a bit since then. He's not so junior now, 26 years of age. Here's Walker skipping infield.
Nice play, wasn't it? First by Bartow to run straight rather than towards the sideline, held in the space.
Now Samet, and Samet puts a little kick in. It's going to ricochet for Walton, and Featherstone get their first break of the game, really. Came up kindly for Jason Walton there. Nobody really able to support him and make more of that.
Well, it's not the kick that he was looking for. But they need some quicker rucks, Featherstone. They're not winning, they've not got the area of the pitch where they want. Anthony Thackeray in behind dummy half. Now bring it on with the experience, Richard Moore.
Moore on his knees gets that pass away. Hardman. About 20 metres out. Thackeray, that looked slightly forward from Anthony Thackeray, but under the touch judge's nose, didn't spot anything wrong with that. And it's back with Thackeray now, and now it's the turn of London to deal with an awkward kick. They do so well, and ironically, it was William Bartow who dealt with that kick.
Ooh. Well, that's exactly what he's doing. He runs straight into Richard Moore. Probably he's got to look up and play what's in front of him and not run straight to that man. He's dictating the speed of this game, isn't he?
That's a very brave thing to do, isn't it?
Well, he thought he was just going to draw him and I think create some space for the pass, but he didn't find the pass in time. And Terry is right. London are playing the game quicker than Featherstone can cope with at present.
Here's James Cunningham. Very lively hooker, the Hull-born lad. 23 years of age now. Now it's with Ben Evans, and Evans driving it in.
Bill, that's too easy. That in 4 players. Look at that. They're 10 metres from Featherstone's line.
And it is very straightforward from London. And Jay Pitts is stopped just short of the try line. The ball's come loose, and it's a knock-on, says Gareth Hewer. And the Featherstone fans salute their side's defence. Jay Pitt's bemused by how that couldn't have been deemed a strip.
Well, he's protesting, and there are some arms in.
Oh, there is.
And there is a little strip that you can see Ian Hardman
protesting his innocence.
I've not touched that, sir. And here's a little strip. It's Corey Aston, I think, the number 31. When he gets out, look, he just rolls his hand across the ball, pulls it out.
Devious.
Look at him, the little smile, the little cheeky smile.
I wonder where he learnt that from. Corey Aston. So Featherstone Rovers get a lucky break there. Now then, Luke Cooper. Forward they come with Keele Carlisle, Richard Moore, Lockwood now, and Lockwood's lost that ball. London will get it back. Free play, little kick ahead.
Wow.
They're chasing it down the middle. It's Walker. Walker looking for a second. It's belted dead in the end.
What a let-off for Featherstone. Inventive play. He needed the ball to bounce up, didn't he? But it didn't sit in time for him. Good defence again there. Jared Samet picks up his opponent, and a kick through. It's a pretty good kick through by Daniel Harrison. And he's looking at the fullback, sets off at the same time, but as the ball bounces on that third bounce, he needed it up. Not quite there for him. Couldn't break the stride, and we'll come back to a scrum. But
do you think Daniel Harrison just got a bit carried away with himself then? The free play, yeah, there's a bit of space in front of me.
Well, nearly made it worthwhile. Scott Turner getting back in the end.
Well, at 18-0, Featherstone would have started to worry. The supporters' concern would have increased rapidly at that stage, but they now need to improve the defence. They've been too leaky in the first quarter of this match.
Here's Mike Channing, once of Featherstone Rovers, plays that ball. Ioane again.
Oh, Richard Moore was hunting anybody in a Broncos shirt then.
Well, that's one tackle missed, and they keep the ball alive. It's gone backwards. It went over Cunningham's head, but Ioane picks it up for London. We're finding territory pretty easy to come by at the moment. And they're going down the short side here now, once more with Jay Pitts. Pitts gets the pass away to Cunningham. Cunningham will take him on himself. Featherstone on their own try line now. It's with Bartow. Now Samet. Samet, they've got the nut out wide here. They could be in good defence. Dixon trying to keep the ball alive. They can't do that, and that's better from Featherstone.
I think it's going to be London's ball here. Kieran Dixon, when he's getting pushed off the field, he offloads the ball. He knows that he's running out of time and space. Look, good footwork, gets back in the field. As he's going out, offloads the ball, and he's right. It comes off Frankie Mariano, who makes a play for that, the number 14.
Well, he needed the pass in front of him, didn't he? The pass goes behind. He has to twist and turn. He maybe had a chance and dived at that corner flag. But you're right. Mariano hits the ball to the floor. That goes out of play, and the pressure is momentarily relieved.
Kieran Dixon back for his second spell with his hometown club, Hackney Bourne, the Broncos winger. Meanwhile, Keele Carlisle getting a bit of attention. Looks like he's got a cut around the eye. Just a calm message coming down from John Sharp. He's seasoned campaigner, is the Featherstone Rovers coach. But his side haven't got into their stride yet, and they haven't been allowed to, and Cunningham picks up and goes from that scrum. Dixon, the pass, Samet had to pick it up off his toes, and he did well there. Featherstone fans at that end thought they'd seen a knock-on from Jared Samet. Gareth Hewer had a good view of it as well. Here's Ioane now. Mark Ioane gets the ball away, and Richard Moore will try and get out of trouble. He's got Offerdal in his face, or Daniel Harrison, I beg your pardon, in his face, and that'll be head and feed to Featherstone, I think.
Well, he started, as I said earlier, he's been very powerful, he's been influential. Ioane.
I think somebody said something there. We see this incident again.
He thinks the ball stripped from the number 1, Ian Hardman.
It looked like it was, didn't it?
Could have a case, yeah.
Well, Featherstone got a hold of this. Is a turning point here. Penalty for some dissent from London.
That's Featherstone's first penalty of the game, and Ioane protesting about that decision that the ball had been stripped.
Look at that defence again, though, from London. They've conceded a penalty, but with 3 men, they won the wrestling contest then.
So Featherstone, can they put a good set of 6 together here? But ooh, strong challenge on Brad Tagg.
Stood his ground then, Cunningham, didn't he?
Now then, Hardman. 10 metres out they are, Featherstone Rovers. Thackeray coming across the field now. Short pass finds John Davis. Davis tackled down low by Bartow, up top by Ben Evans. Danger not gone here. Little grubber kick comes in, and these very calm hands of Alex Walker deal with the situation again. Made that look very comfortable, Alex Walker.
He's dealing with everything, isn't he? He's there, he's putting himself in the frame, he's getting himself in the picture. Whenever that ball's just kicked behind his teammates, he's there to come up with the magic play that he needs.
So London withstand that Featherstone Rovers assault. Cunningham, little dart from him, takes him over his own 20-metre line. Quarter of the game gone, and Junior Rokika is on the pitch, the Fijian international, a big character. The kick comes in, charged down by Frankie Mariano. Will that stay in the field of play? It doesn't. Couldn't benefit from that.
It's that type of play and that intensity in defence that Featherstone need here to turn the momentum of the match. But luckily for them, the ball rolls over the sideline, but he knows they've seen maybe the best that London can throw in the opening quarter, and whether or not they can get up to the level and match them here now for this second 20-minute blast. With Mark Ioane going off the field here, the question is whether London still have the punch in the centre of the field to hurt Featherstone.
Well, I think Valentine Junior Rokika provides a bit of punch.
Well, we'll see now whether he can have just as impressive 20-minute period as his teammate did to start this match.
The 22-minute mark reached at Bloomfield Road, and the crowd, in memory of the Manchester victims, the Hull Kingston Rovers players among them, rise to their feet and salute the victims of that tragedy.
The rugby league community's got behind it over the last few games that we've seen on Sky Sports, standing up and applauding and getting behind Manchester in these tragic times.
Featherstone Rovers get head and feet at the scrum after that error by London, and now an opportunity maybe for Featherstone. Thackeray is tackled 20 metres out. They've got plenty of tackles in the bag and more. Brought down by Jay Pitts. Quick play the ball it is. This is more like it from Featherstone. A bit of pace in this particular assault on the London defence. Keal Carlisle looks left, right. There's Richard Moore, and Moore slipping at just the wrong time, and then Rokika makes sure he doesn't get to his feet in a hurry. So the ball goes wide to Frankie Mariano, but Mariano bottled up by the Broncos defenders. That's the 5th tackle. What will Thackeray come up with here? Little chip kick, it's a good one as well, and Hardman was chasing, but they were offside, says the referee. No, there was a shove in actual fact.
Or was it Corey Aston?
It was Corey, you're right, it was.
Corey Aston, that the man in the middle, Gareth Ewers picked out. When that ball goes up, see that he's going for him.
That's disappointing, isn't it, that they're not onside really there from that kick.
A relieving penalty for London.
You know, they feel that they need some energy. Featherstone, they've made 130 tackles to London's just 78. That's the thing that really hurts you. That's the thing that gets you, and that's only with 24 minutes on the clock.
Here is Rokika now. Former Cronulla player, Junior Rakika. And London motoring up the middle of the field again. Jay Pitts plays the ball. Here's Jared Samet and gives it to Rakika. Rakika tackled about 20 metres out. Bartow, little dummy from the French international. Then back into the middle of the field to Ben Evans. That's the 5th tackle. Bartow is in position. Featherstone surely will be alert to whatever he's going to come up with this time. It's another little kick. It's a good little kick. They won't get a try, but they'll get the ball back. He's causing havoc with that kick of his, is William Bartow.
Well, that's why you can't be defending anywhere near your line. The short kicking game, the longer kicking game, but this is the game of where I think that it's really getting to Featherstone. He's got too much time. He's kicking on the front foot. He's pulling up the defensive line. And the weight on the kick as well is perfect.
He had a pretty impressive game. If you think back to last year, I think at Salford we saw London defeat the Salford side in that mid-late qualification period. William Bartow was impressive. I don't think there's been a better kicker of the ball this weekend in rugby league in this country than William Bartow in the opening 25 minutes.
Rakika from that goal line dropout runs the ball back. And Featherstone Rovers are spending a lot of the opening half hour of this game in defensive mode, it seems. They're on the back foot again. And Cunningham thought he'd seen a gap there.
Well, he just thought it'd open up. You've got to react to what your halves are doing.
He's got a bang there as James Cunningham. And he's not getting up in a hurry. And Frankie Mariano, I think, sensed immediately that there was something wrong there. And just signaled to the ref that maybe need a pause.
Well, there's blood coming from his nose as Andrew Henderson looks on now that his team...
That's fair play from a fellow professional. Frankie Mariano sensing that Cunningham was in trouble and is going to need to be replaced. Oh, come on, you sounded like Barry McDermott now. Well, he's got all sorts of problems as the London Broncos hooker.
Should that be a penalty, really? He's hit him in the face, broken his nose, perhaps. But the rules, Terry, though, if the rules are contact with the head is a penalty, then he's had contact in a couple of places.
You're right there. There's no laughing matter. Oh, that could be.
It was when he landed. He
curtains this game for James Cunningham.
Well, he went awkward. He's obviously not going off because of blood streaming from his nose. I think when he went down under pressure.
It's a penalty, I think.
There you go, Phil. The referee agrees with you. Contact with the head from Richard Moore.
It'll be 14-0.
And presumably it'll be Andy Ackers who comes off the bench once the Warrington Wolves Academy, and a very competent hooker as well, Andy Ackers. There he is, 23-year-old, former Swinton Lion. But James Cunningham, meanwhile, hobbling from the field, and I wonder whether we'll see him again today.
Well, he wasn't moving well.
It's one of those incidents, though, and I don't know where I stick really on this, where if the player doesn't stay down and we don't see repeats of that, then it's not a penalty. It's only a penalty because the players, you know, I mean, the referee didn't immediately see contact with the head. It's a delayed penalty.
Stand still.
Cunningham in the wars, nose, groin, and just indicating there what his view of the incident was. Well, it's resulted in a penalty goal, and Kieran Dixon will attempt to extend London Broncos' lead here at Bloomfield Road. Dixon gently puts that one between the posts, and London lead 14-0.
Well, what'll be the reaction here from Featherstone? 14 points down. Not even got to half an hour yet. They need to get a grip of this game as the coach, John Sharp, takes his seat. I'm sure he will be disappointed by the way that they've started, the way that they've turned over the ball, what they're doing in defence closer line, not putting enough pressure on William Bartow in particular.
Samet is underneath the restart, and Rakika runs it back, and that's a solid defence to meet him.
He's powerful, they can't turn him on his back. Every time he's carried the ball, he's never once been dominated.
Well, the dominant side so far in this second game of the day in the Summer Bash, day one, has been the London Broncos. And here's Jay Pitts now. Left the Bradford Bulls for London when the Bulls went into meltdown, 2016. Rokika now, as London get up to the halfway line. That's the fifth tackle, and the Featherstone Rovers fans, to be fair, they're in good form as Bartow makes space for the kick. It's going to go out in the full, though. That's the first time the Frenchman has put a foot wrong in this game. And the wind, I think, causing him problems there. And it'll be the turnover on the halfway line.
And maybe the pressure as well. He had to step to avoid a Featherstone player. Didn't get the contact on it that he wanted, but yet the wind swirling around as well wouldn't have helped.
Griffin plays the ball. Daryl Griffin off the bench and into action for Featherstone Rovers. Featherstone maybe sensing that the injury to Cunningham and that kick going out on the full has just deflated London a little bit, because there's a bit of purpose, this set of six from this Featherstone attack. But Thackeray runs up a cul-de-sac and then just flings the pass infield, and it's not a good one. And London are offside, bang in front of their own posts. And this is great position for Featherstone Rovers now.
Well, they've three fresh forwards on the field. They've got a fantastic opportunity here now to try and trouble the scoreboard. And Matty Wilde just taps it on there to big Daryl Griffin, who gets them the closest they've been for a long time.
35 years of age now, Daryl Griffin. He plays that ball, and Davis will stretch out.
Oh, he's lost it.
John Davis just couldn't reach out and get the ball down.
Oh, it opened up for him as well, didn't it? I'm not sure which London players shot the line, but John Davis trying everything to get the ball on that white line to score the opening try for Featherstone. He didn't have a good grip on it. It was just trapped on his wrist, and when he was going to reach out, just loses possession. But it certainly opened up for him.
Saw James came off the field, all sorts of problems, and we can get more news on his situation from Angela.
Yes, Bill, he's on the bench now. He's having the physio's having a look at his leg, his right thigh. He did seem to grasp it, didn't he, when he went down? But they were more concerned with his nose and stemming the blood flow from there. It's not a concussion change, it was just a straightforward sub. But they do reckon he'll be fit to go back on if needed.
Good news that for London then, because Cunningham did look in the wars when he came off the field, limping with blood pouring from his nose. Looks a bit happier now as he sits in the stand. His side lead by 14 points to 0. Half an hour gone at Bloomfield Road. Bartow into the middle of the field. And Lewis Bienek, 19 years of age, a London product, plays the ball just inside his own half. Samet this time gets the kick away, and it's a good one straight up the sidelines, and Hardman just watches that one trickle into touch.
It is a good kick from Jared Samet. He was scanning along the line. What was he going to do? Well, that was a good defensive set from Featherstone. They were firing into London. Every time a London player was carrying the ball, the likes of Daryl Griffin was getting up. Anywhere that there was ribs exposed, they were firing into the man, trying to hurt them. And just let them know that they're still in this game. Don't sit back and let London play all the players that they want down this end of the field. They'll look to keep jabbing away when they're bringing the ball away, looking for that knockout punch when it comes.
Luke Briscoe brings the ball out. Game 2 this is. Third game coming up as Hull Kingston Rovers take on Bradford. Top versus bottom. 6:45 for that one on Sky Sports 3. The Hull Kingston Rovers players and their coach are here. The Bulls just sitting in the stand awaiting their turn on this pitch as Featherstone try and find a way round the London cover in the middle of the field now. And London swarming in defence. 32 minutes gone, the Broncos lead as Griffin plays that ball. Thackeray hoists the kick, it's a good one. Heading towards the sidelines, Dixon claims it, and it goes out off the winger.
Well,
and that's going to be head and feed, isn't it, to Featherstone, I think.
It was a brilliant kick, and this is a fascinating test to see whether Featherstone can recover. Having started the game poorly and conceded the points, conceded field position here, they haven't panicked. They've pressed a reset button, they've spoken amongst themselves here, and they've got back to doing what they intended to do when the game was 0-0 and we're in the first 5 minutes. Kieran Dixon's come up with a mistake here. He's just got to hope here now his team can hold out for 6 plays.
If he's ever had a weakness in his game, it's under that high ball, isn't it? As soon as that ball went up, he's trying to go to ground. He didn't want to take the tackle from Jason Walton as Featherstone lose the ball.
It's Jason Walton who dropped the ball. He'd put the pressure on Dixon. And now here's Elliot Keir, and Keir goes on the outside now. He's lost a boot as the Welsh international winger, but that's not going to stop him. Dixon was trying to get there. His boot's back on the 20-metre line. He's on the halfway line.
Well, good footwork, good speed, wasn't it, from Keir?
Here is Jared Samet. Oh, that's a wild pass from Samet. And Mike Channing goes back to retrieve it, and Channing flirting with the sideline there.
It was a brave play from Channing, stepping off his left foot, going towards the sideline.
Just a bit of a rush of blood from the Broncos there. And Junior Rakika just steadies things down a bit. Harrison, that's
forward passes.
Not so, according to the officials.
Well, like it was a forward pass from Channing. I agree with you, Phil.
Here's Rakika now. Looked to go forward from Janning, that did. Lucky break for London there. Here's Bienek, making his 5th appearance of the season, the former Charlton gunner.
He's a big man, isn't he?
10 metres out. Short pass, Jay Pitts, and that'll be the turnover. Came to naught. Beg your pardon, it was Matt Garside who was tackled at 5 metres out. So Featherstone survived that. But again, they're having to work their way from deep in their own half.
Still not a bad place to turn the ball over, running it on the last play. Featherstone more or less would be sat back expecting that kick from Bartow. Maybe that's why they chose to run the play instead of kicking the ball.
Here's Missy Talapapa now, the Samoan international centre, prolific try scorer in his Sheffield Eagles days. Hasn't quite hit the same heights at Featherstone yet. And Featherstone haven't quite hit the heights in this game. The kick comes in from Thackeray. It was played at, cry the Featherstone players. Thackeray leading the way, but the referee says, yes, I agree.
Well, it'll be a test here now for London to defend again. You know, before the game, everyone spoke about Andrew Henderson, London's attacking game, but it's been their tackling that's been the most impressive thing for me. According to our stats, they've missed just 1 tackle and made almost 120. That's a phenomenal record here. We very rarely see that.
The London players asking Gareth Hewitt to explain why that's deemed to be played at.
Because once you move towards the ball, that is the definition, according to referees and the rules. If you move towards the ball, as he did a defender, he's played at it, even though he's turned his back.
When he was in the act of kicking the ball, as he's going forward, even though he turns his back, he still played at that.
John Davis, so close to a Featherstone Rovers try just a few moments ago. They need that. Oh, and they get the penalty. It's a couple of decisions that have boosted the Featherstone Rovers cause there, and they're quick to take the tap.
Well, a strong carry from John Davis. He's just hoping his teammates now can come up with something. Look for Anthony Thackeray with a show and go.
Half-time approaching, how they would like to get points on the board here. Jack Ormondroyd, made available by Leeds under the dual registration relationship for this game. Plays the ball. Featherstone on the charge here. Mariano again, trying to battle his way through. It's Daryl Griffin. Griffin is over the line. Can he turn and get it down? He's held up, says the referee. Good defence from London.
Again, good defence from London. You can see the big 0. Shows how well they've defended in the opening 36 minutes. Featherstone need to improve their attack, though, close to the line.
Wildy. They're running this wide now. Hardman, though, faced by well-organised London defenders, takes the tackle 10 metres out. That's the 5th tackle. It's going to be the cross-field kick from Corey Aston, and it's too strong, out on the fall, and London survive with the clock counting down towards half-time, and their lead 14 points to 0.
Well, they were going to try and get at Kieran Dixon, isolating the winger. Cross-field kick. There was an on-rushing Featherstone line looking to put pressure, but the kick was just too long. Well, he's a very good player. Give him the ball in hand, he'll cause problems anywhere. As I said earlier, teams will try and test him out. If he makes a mistake, will he crumble or will he just get back on the bike and do something special?
Gareth Hewer just pointing out to London that it wasn't a tap on the 20. The ball had gone out on the full, into touch, and it was the turnover. Back on their own 10-metre line, so not quite as an advantageous situation. Elliot Keir plays the ball. Here's another Welsh international, Mike Channing. Channing tackled just inside his own 40-metre line. Dixon drifting across the field, but they're wise to the danger Kieran Dixon poses, and there's 3 Featherstone players there to make the tackle. Samet.
Still good line speed from Featherstone. They've been outplayed in the opening 38 minutes, but they're still very competitive and wanting to put pressure on the kicker.
Samet does well there to get the kick in, and it's not a bad kick either. The pressure was on Jared Samet. He gets the kick away, and he gets the plaudits of his teammates.
Didn't he
and a little breath there.
Didn't he do well to recover? Yeah, look at the pressure. Thackeray gets up, then all of a sudden he misses him. And Ormroyd's the other player who's working from the ruck. And that is an excellent kick. Under so much pressure, didn't have time. Look, the marker was going at him, Thackeray was going at him, and he still manages to get the kick off the field of play. That shows all the experience that he's got.
So Featherstone again, just this London kicking game, which has contributed 2 tries and some good field position. And here's Jason Walton now, strong running player. Once of London, made 6 appearances for the Broncos in 2015. Scott Turner now, just inside their own half. What Featherstone wouldn't give for some points on the board before half-time. They've got a minute to achieve that, to give themselves a bit of a lift. Matty Wildy plays the ball. It's the last tackle, and it's a pretty much hit and hope kick, and Dixon comfortably underneath that, and that was disappointing end to that set for Featherstone.
Kick it! Oh, they've held on. With Ian Hardman up in the line, there was an 80-metre race with the momentum behind him. I'd have backed him.
Reckless advice.
There's 30 seconds to go.
They'll be happy with the situation they find themselves in. Rokika just over the halfway line. The Fijian international plays the ball. Now it's with J. Pitts. The Featherstone Rovers supporters have not stopped their singing in this first half. You're full of outrageous suggestions. You could be right. Samet's going to go for it. Charge down again. And the tackle will not be completed. It will eventually. Dixon couldn't get a hold of that. Umpteen knock-ons there, and that'll be the end of the first half. Almost finishing with an outrageous bit of action, a bit of a spat there with John Davis involved, and Kieran Dixon likewise. Frustration for Featherstone Rovers at the end of this first half as they trail by 14 points to 0. Andrew Henderson's London Broncos side having the better of the first 40 minutes, but John Sharp's men with work to do.
Yes, certainly work to do. Thanks very much to Bill, Phil and Terry. Work to do for the Featherstone Rovers, but I'm sure they'll look at that scoreboard and think in a half in which they were completely dominated by the London Broncos, they trail by just 14 points to 0. Well, Featherstone Rovers will be looking for a first win at Summer Bash. They have a huge amount of work to do if they're going to get that. We'll have a first half analysis for you in just a second.
What matters is Super League, and
He has lost it.
You got the goods? You got my cash? What's this? You've overpaid.
Big packs, big savings. Go online or in store to get in on the deal. Skeletor saved at Money's supermarket, and now he feels epic.
Baby, look at me and tell me what you see. I can catch the moon in my hand. Don't you know who I am? Remember
By the power of great Skeletor, you're so Money supermarket.
Not a single moment goes by when I cannot immerse myself entirely in sport. I can shout and scream in 100 different stadiums, all at the same time. I am a member of the world's favourite online sports betting company, and I gamble responsibly at Bet365.
We are told the pyramids were built to be tombs.
Nick!
But the truth is, they're prisons. What you have unearthed is unlike anything we've ever faced.
The Mummy in cinemas June 9th.
Unbelievable! Look what's just landed. Not you, Shorty. This compact British-made sofa with comfortable high back is just $599, saving you nearly £800 in the Harvey's sale. Look at that! Save nearly £900 on this stylish leather recliner, now just $699 in the Harvey's sale. With up to 4 years interest-free credit, you can't afford to miss the Harvey's sale. Hurry, extra bank holiday specials end Tuesday. Harvey's, incredible furniture at incredible prices. Guaranteed.
The sun's UV rays affect your skin. With a UV camera, you can see it. It also shows how Nivea Sun helps protect skin from UV. That's why Nivea Sun has teamed up with Cancer Research UK to say cover up, aim for shade and apply Nivea Sun. Trust the UK's #1 sun care brand.
Any man, any occasion, Giacomo fits. Sky Cinema presents a brand new premiere every day. So every day is a new adventure. Every day is a new challenge. Every day is a new reason to smile. And every day is action-packed.
Let's party!
Sky Cinema brings you a brand new premiere every day. Press the red button to upgrade to Sky Cinema today.
This is Monaco, baby!
Join the team for the Monaco Grand Prix on Sky Sports.
Doesn't he just make it look so easy? He's so composed when he goes for that ball.
Welcome back. We are halfway through day one of the Summer Bash here at Blackpool, and the London Broncos lead 14 points to 0 over the Featherstone Rovers. Some information we're getting from the sideline at halftime is that influential hooker James Cunningham limped from the field for the London Broncos. You would have seen that. He will not take any further part in this game. That is the information we are currently getting pitchside from Angela Powers. Right, Terry O'Connor, let's have a look at London and how they are 14-0 ahead on the scoreboard, and large part is due to William Bartow's kicking game.
Look at the field position that they've got, Brian, where the short kicking game has been very good. They've just been marching up the field. I was very impressed with Ioane, the way that he was carrying the ball. He was winning those little battles, those little collisions. And again, the second try was set up by that man. Bartow is kicking back in field. He goes one side, comes back towards
Difficult
the
for the
sticks.
defence to pick this one up.
You've got to work really hard. You've got to. I'm not saying you've got to anticipate that, but it's hard to defend those sorts of kicks, isn't it? You don't know what he's going to do, whether he's going to go to the side and the long side that he's going at, or whether he's going to come back into centre field.
12-0 after that Alex Walker try was converted, and then the late Kieran Dixon penalty, or Kieran Dixon penalty, I should say, extended to 14 points to nil. Who's the happier coach? Andrew Henderson because he's 14-0 up, or John Sharp because in a half that they had no say, they're only 14-0 down?
I would have to say that it'd be Andrew Henderson. Like Featherstone have defended a lot more. The energy's been taken out of them. But you've got to give credit to Andrew Henderson. The job that he's done with the forwards that they've got, I thought, as I said, they've been very dominant. The halves that we've talked about in Bartow and Samet, they can only perform when the forwards are going forward. You can't do anything if you're playing on the back foot. Your field position isn't that good, and I think he'd be the happier Andrew Henderson.
Okay, but it is just 14 points, and the Featherstone Rovers side have been brilliant this season. They sit in second place in the championship table now. They got a bit to do in this game, but you would not rule them out. I wonder what John Sharp has said at half-time. Can they react? Find out shortly.
Yemen or Talanoa might have been a try, still might be. It is!
Nice one, Walter. Putting the bombs out first.
If there were steaks in a barbie, they'd be well done.
G'day, fellas. William and Ralph Foster.
There you go, mate. Try not to drop it.
Foster's for the thirsty.
Join our match cooking classes. A fun way to meet new people doing something you love. Match. Join free today.
If you can do a good deed and expect nothing back. If you can step up and get it done when others can't. If you can graft and not let the graft get you down. And put other folk first without a frown. If you can do all that, my son, you'll do me proud.
No problem. Happy to help.
PlusNet is committed to great customer service. That's why they have friendly, helpful staff on hand to sort stuff out.
PlusNet will do you proud.
At Oak Furnitureland, there are huge savings on this beautiful real hardwood chest of drawers. Now just $429. Our bank holiday sale ends Monday.
Captain. 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 Captain.
You got the goods?
You got my cash? What's this? You've overpaid.
Big packs, big savings. Go online or in store to get in on the deal.
I didn't start more than for spreadsheets and do lunch, but for this. Life. Kids, parents, fruity. He wants to drive, but insurance is pricey. Mom's tired of running him around, but doesn't trust his driving. Some pickle. But there's hope. Drive safer with a Smart Wheels Gizmo and save cash. Freedom for spring ducklings and sweet dreams for the papas and mamas. Safe. We do more than.
Checking out the options. Cammy? What do you reckon? First goal scorer? Correct score? With Ladbrokes, there are loads of options. And right now, you should make the most of this great offer. Nice work, fella. Respect. Unbelievable.
Great. You guys ready? What do I want from a movie?
I want the truth!
What do I feel in a movie?
I feel the need for speed.
What do I get from a movie?
Boys, let's get right down to it.
Remember me?
I'm back.
Our biggest ever
Let's go!
Tom Cruise collection.
Ask, and you shall see. Would you hang with me?
I was wondering when you were going to show up.
You complete me.
Say hello to Sky Cinema Tom Cruise.
They had me at hello.
What about being man of the match then in a match like this, Liam?
London lead at half-time in game 2, but it's against a Featherstone side that have won their last 6 matches and trail by just 14. Find out how the second half unfolds in the company of our commentary team, Phil Clark, Terry O'Connor, but first, Bill Arthur.
London looking for a hat-trick of Summer Bash wins. They've beaten Sheffield in the previous 2. Featherstone looking to break their Summer Bash duck. And they've got some work to do in the second half as it gets underway with Featherstone trailing by 14 points to 0. And Shawley coming out firing in this second half to get into London early on and make a dent in this 14-0 lead. London very much on top in that first half. Here's big Jack Ormondroyd, all 6'5" of him, a young buck compared to another front rower there, Daryl Griffin. And now here's Brad Tagg. 4 tackles gone. Featherstone really didn't put too much pressure on London's defence. Good kick into the corner. One for Luke Briscoe to chase.
Well, they didn't score a try here, but what a good set to start off with. Looking for the reaction, looking for how Featherstone can get back into this game. Well, sets like that will surely get them back in this game. And the words of wisdom from the coach, John Sharp, at half-time, I'm sure will still be ringing in the ears of his players.
Corey Aston's kick then, resulting in a London head and feed the scrum, which is 10 metres out. So they've got to roll their sleeves up at the start of this second half, and Rhys Williams doing just that.
Well, this is where they need to work very hard. Get the numbers in. They've got 4 numbers in. Just peel off. Nice and easy. Get back, reset, get off the line again, and go over and over and over again for the next 40 minutes.
Rokika plays the ball. And they're up to the halfway line, London. 4 tackles gone as Jay Pitts plays it. Samet. Here's Daniel Harrison. Once of the Manly club. And Harrison with Walton all over him. And then Samet on the last, hoists a kick. Dixon will put pressure on it, bats the ball up into the air. Samet, oh, it's gone forward, says the referee.
That's indicative, though, that play, of the style that Andrew Henderson encourages the team to contest at all times, with and without the ball. The kick's gone up. They're not just waiting for the opponent to attempt to catch the ball. They've got under it. Kieran Dixon on that occasion, the ball goes forward. But they've got 3 players around it, and they're hoping and putting pressure on the opponents when never possible.
Here's Missy Talapapa, just up to the halfway line. Let's get a quick word from Angela, half-time news.
Andrew Henderson for the London Broncos said they started really well in that first half, so with real intent. Played methodically for the first 20, but got a bit scratchy towards the back end. But they defended well, outstanding, he actually says. He wants more of the same this half. John Sharp of Featherstone said that London was just too fast around the ruck, and looks like they might have an attack on here.
Missy Talapapa, though, has gone without the ball. The referee says it's back to 0. Great opportunity here, and Jay Pitts gathers the ball, and they'll come back. That was the free play.
Well, they go back for it. Missy Talapapa. Some of the London players thought that he'd lost the ball when it goes over to the right. He was trying to play outside. Look, you can see that it's played at Rhys Williams. It's the correct call. And this is the free play. Looking up, trying to find space. They've got to work really hard. And Andrew Henderson said at half-time how proud he was of the way that his team were playing. Well, they only missed 2 tackles in that first half. So you've got to work extremely hard to break them down.
Blood on the brow, Missy Talapapa. Under that bandage, head and feed to Featherstone. So they've had good pressure at the start of this second half. Here is Talapapa. Plays the ball, and Griffin takes the pass from Matt Wildy. Wants a Wakefield Wildy. Here's Thackeray now. Thackeray, short ball to Mariano. They really are trying to use Mariano's power. But London stop him in his tracks there. Here's Thackeray once more. Short ball for Griffin now, and Griffin trying to barge his way over. Again a short ball, and this time Davis will go over, and Featherstone find a way through. Hammering away at the London Broncos defence, and eventually it cracked. And John Davis gets his 6th try of this campaign, and Featherstone get points on the board at last. They've earned it at the start of this second half.
Well, missing Tyler Popper, it looks to isolate Rhys Williams, who makes a play for that ball. They get another set of 6. You see the opposite Luke Briscoe asking for the referee. Yep, we've got it, let's go. They go and attack him, and that's a good carry from John Davis. Anthony Thackeray, he's been hitting the lead runner a number of sides, on the left-hand side, the right-hand side. They're not choosing to go out the back, and it's a nice, strong effort from the back rower, John Davis, to score the try.
John Davis in his 2nd season at Featherstone Rovers, and has been ever present for them this season, and a really solid performer, unflashy but very dependable. Had come close earlier in this game. Well, he got over there, and Corey Aston, who's kicked 47 goals this season, adds another one to his tally. And that's cheered up the Featherstone Rovers supporters at that end of the ground, where that try was scored by John Davis.
Well, with some repeated possession, the fans know that their side, to Davis and co, can find some points here today. A lapse in concentration perhaps from the scrum half, William Bartow. He needed one eye on the ball and one eye on the ball runner. He just drawn into where possession was, took his eye off Davis, and it'll open the gate for him to score the first points for the Featherstone. Points they needed to boost their confidence. They've never performed that well here in the Bash of Blackpool, but now they're off and up and running.
So are they going to be able to build on that? There's certainly been more purpose about some of their running, especially from the forwards.
And that's just been the key ingredient, the way that they're running onto the ball. They're looking to win the tackle, they're looking to play the ball very quick. Don't have to complicate plays. Nice and simple near your own try line, then look to open it up when you get near the opposition's try line.
Brad Tagg tackled. Tagg tackled. Here's John Davis, the try scorer, and Davis very nearly stepping through.
Again, another powerful run from Davis.
Wildy, oh, Matty Wildy has been very lively since he came off the bench. Could have been a penalty.
Very much so.
Davis puts a little grubber kick in, and it finds touch. And Featherstone Rovers really are on a roll at the moment.
It's all about speed. It's the way that they're playing the ball. They're running from dummy half. Davis with a kick to the sideline. Sure, he was looking for Luke Briscoe, the winger, but look at the speed here. Could have been a penalty. I agree with you, lads. That's a nice play.
The mood they're in, I suspect they would have rather that ball stayed on the field. They had the upper hand, didn't they? Or they still have the upper hand. For a brief 30-second break while the scrum reforms.
I think there were some sharp words in the Featherstone Rovers dressing room at half-time. John Sharp wanted the side, apparently according to Angela on the sidelines, to build pressure more purposefully in the second half. Well, they've certainly been doing that so far. Early days yet, but they've already got points on the board. And London have just got to try and stem the tide. Here is Lewis Bienek. Had a spell with Oxford last year, as did that man earlier in his career, Darryl Griffin, going down low to make the tackle. Ooh, and Ben Evans felt that. Here's Bartow, and Bartow drills the kick in, but that one sits up nicely for Corey Aston.
Well read, wasn't it, by the halfback? He anticipated, where would I kick this ball if I was in possession? And he got into the pedestrian. Briscoe loses the ball though now.
He'd done the hard work, he got through. Now Rhys Williams trying to return the compliment.
As you said, Billy did everything right, didn't he? Gets through the line, all of a sudden he just drops it.
Just trying to alter his grip, I think, there, and London for the first time in this second half really are deep in Featherstone Rovers territory as Ben Evans plays the ball. Bartow, Sammert, they've got the numbers here. Oh, and Walker went for it himself. Gets a slap round the face as well.
We just got him, Jason Walton.
Almost opened up for Alex Walker there. He thought he'd seen the gap, but Jason Walton managed to stop his progress. Here's Sammert now. 4 tackles gone. Ackers is going for it. And he's held up, he's got that down, he claims. He looks at the referee and says, how about that? Gareth Ewer reckons he's got it down on a cheeky try from Andy Ackers. The name's cheeky, the try could be cheeky as well, if it's awarded.
This could be a big effort from Andy Ackers. Look at that. There's numbers there. He's got hold of the ball, he's got hold of the ball. Yeah, there's not a problem. He's got Davis, he's got Hardman all over him. But his effort and desire to get that ball down, I'm sure this is a try.
What work from Andy Ackers to get his second try of the season. And that's a good response from the London Broncos after Featherstone Rovers really got stuck into them at the start of this second half. Ackers extends London's lead.
Well, he's got some punch, he's got some whack, Andy Ackers. This is good play. When he gets out, he pumps that ball as though he's going to pass the ball. All of a sudden, he buys a second. But it's that effort and that determination to spin out of a tackle with 3 players. Look, he's gone with Ormonroyd, he's gone with Davis, Hardman. They're not small, and that is great play from that youngster.
Well, that's silenced the Featherstone Rovers supporters. That far end of the ground, although they've kind of been swamped by Hull Kingston Rovers supporters at that end. It was, well, last time I looked to my left at that end of the ground, it was a sea of Featherstone Rovers blue and white, and suddenly this army of red and white fans have appeared. I wonder what they're here for.
Well, this is a big kick. We've got a 12-point gap, could make it 14, which is significant in the D3 scores.
Dixon. It's waved away.
Well, that was one of those kicks. It looked as though it went over the, well, close to the. If the upright had gone higher, I'd take to see another look at this. Well, the touch judges are in a better position than I am, and they say no, that's not a goal, and the gap stays at 12 points with half an hour to play.
So still fairly evenly balanced this game. You sense that if Featherstone Rovers could get a roll on, then they could overhaul London. They were trying to do that when they allowed Ackers to sneak that try.
It's interesting that Henderson brought Ioane back on the field, the number 10, after they conceded that try. It just seemed to help the team roll forward.
Well, they've been having slow play the balls in this second half. Without the likes of Ioane on the pitch, they need to speed that up, get back to what they were doing in the first half, London.
Well, there's a bit of pace about this set. Here's Ben Evans. Evans plays the ball. Bartow hoists that kick. It's a good one. Walker is chasing it, has got it, and it's over the line! Second of the game for Alex Walker. And what an opportunistic finish that was. Ryan Cowboy, say those Broncos supporters. And what a finish from this 21-year-old Scottish international fullback, Alex Walker. 22 points to 6, London lead now.
Well, it's the second kick that he scored from. It's the second try he scored from a kick, and it's that man again, Bartow, that sets it up. With some strong carries from London. Ioane starts it all off. If you win the first or one of your first plays, all of a sudden the next play the balls get a bit quicker. You're down near the opposition's try line. They don't want to be contesting for these balls, but that man, Walker, does. Good take from him.
It's a Mark Percival-inspired try to me, isn't it? Chasing your teammate's bomb and having more desire to get up. It's great skill by Walker. I thought he caught the eye last year in the period when they played against some of the Super League sides. Talented player, looks as though he's a fraction stronger, more durable than he was at this time last year, and we might get to see a bit more of him over the summer months.
Kieran Dixon missed with his last conversion attempt from just about the same sort of place for that Andy Ackers try. Can he get this one on target? Interestingly, Alex Walker, who's been with London since his early teens and was saying that he's played at three different grounds. He's trained at 5 different grounds in his brief career as a professional player. Dixon. This one's waved away as well. Shake of the head. And London could do with those extra points.
Well, on the last player, William Bartow has more often than not put the best decision and an accurate kick in to help his teammates take a commanding lead in this game. But there's one thing we know about the Featherstone Rovers. They're a resilient team. You can never write them off.
They resume. It's a good restart. Ooh. Channing flirting with disaster there from that wicked restart.
Didn't he do well to stay in the field? We're talking about all the pivots for London, but the middlemen are playing exceptionally well.
Is Dixon, and Dixon hard to stop. Yes, that's the restart. Well done, Mike Channing. Here he is again.
Move, Richard! Come on, 10 metres, hold.
Just inside their own half. Ioane now. Davis gets a hold of him.
Move, Frankie, 10 metres.
He's got a very good hit and spin. Keeps pumping those legs forward.
Bienek. Another good run from him.
Been impressed with him, Bill, since he's come on.
Jared Samet. This is another high kick, and guess who's chasing this one?
That's a
Walker
penalty.
again. It's a penalty. Yep.
Well, Alex Walker said earlier on in the first half he's been very disciplined. He's staying behind the kicker. The ball goes up. Look at that, perfect. The ball goes up. He's taken out from Jason Walton. He was trying to give his teammates some space. You can see he goes straight into his path, sticks the shoulder in. Clear penalty and more pressure.
They're going to take the tap, especially with Dixon's kicking radar a bit wayward. Keep the pressure on. Here is Ben Evans now. Andy Ackers, still no sign of James Cunningham returning after that injury. Ioane has gone from left to right and was trying his luck there. So Andy Ackers continuing.
Well, they've got good shape here on the left-hand side.
Here is Samet now. Samet, Bienek. That 8 metres out. 3 tackles gone. Samet ships it on. Walker. Good defence from Featherstone. There was nowhere for London to go there. Elliot Keir picks up. Back into the middle of the park, and Ben Evans now. That's the 5th tackle. Surely a little grubber kick from Bartow. It is. Oh, and Briscoe manages to snaffle that ball, and it's going to be, I think, is it goal line dropout?
A dropout, yeah. Well, they don't score the try, but they certainly turn the screw again, don't they? Look at this. He's sitting back. You're anticipating what kicks he going to put on William Bartow. Is he going to run the ball? And then a big effort from Elliot Keir to force Briscoe over the try line. Look at that. He lands in the field of the play. He's not tackled. He picks him up. He dominates him, pushes him back, and earns his side a goal line dropout.
William Bartow wants the Cattle Dragons, causing problems for Featherstone Rovers with his kicking game. Problems for Missy Talapapa as well, by the look of things. Just hobbling back into the defensive line. Blood on his brow. He's got a bang on the ankle. And Corey Aston belts that ball downfield, and Ioane will run it back in. Spins away from the first tackle.
Such good balance for a big fella.
Bienek winds himself up and sends Frankie Mariano retreating.
Bill, it's the first time we saw him. He's absolutely brilliant. He's got a big future in the game, Bienek.
Well, London on the back of those 2 runs from Ioane and Bienek, threatening again, and Bartow trying to find a way through, but John Davis and Richard Moore get a hold of him. Luke Cooper shoves him to the ground, could have been penalised there. It's Ioane again. again, and Ioane trying to duck under the first challenge, but Hardman stood his ground. Cooper again making the tackle. Samet, poor pass, but it's picked up by Walker. It's back to 6, says the referee. There was a Featherstone Rovers hand in there. They're about 6 metres out, and it's a wayward pass, and it's picked up by Bieniek, and Bieniek says, oh, all right, then I'll have a go.
Well, this next 60 seconds could determine the game. Featherstone just simply have to hang on.
Here's Bartow with Keir coming back in field, trying to spot a gap and put a little bit of footwork on the Featherstone defenders, but Hardman wrestles him, and Keir didn't like that. Hardman and Keir going at it in back play. Play continues. Gareth Hewer has a look over his shoulder. We'll stop play now.
They've just come together. There's not been a punch from Hardman.
What's the world coming to? That's 2 full backs.
Yeah.
Well, I think there was something happened 5 minutes earlier, wasn't there, where Elliot Keir was very unhappy. A little slap on the face here, and then a big fallout. This will be interesting which way. There is probably a slap thrown there. Which way the penalty goes here. London, I'm sure if they're given the penalty, will take 2 more points. 16 lead. Do you know what, when you consider that they've had the majority of the possession in the second half, Featherstone aren't out of this.
Little slap in the face from Ian Hardman then, I think, on Elliot Keir, and that's what got his dander up. And the referee, Gareth Hewer, takes a report from his fellow official.
We've got a penalty against you for a slap. Just take 10 minutes. Go on. Calm down. That is the decision.
Well,
away you go. Man to man.
It was a pretty innocuous sort of tap in the face, wasn't it? As taps in the face go.
Well, I've seen people get sent to the sin bin for throwing punches, but not for a slap.
Literally was a slap, wasn't it?
It was. It was like Keir's trying to push him off, then it's like a little.
There's another one where though, right? Keep going. Yeah, there is something thrown here.
No, there's no punches, Phil. There was no punches. I was watching it.
Though, after that point.
Elliot Keir's gone as well for his response. And at the end of it all, they will go for 2 points.
And that's just to calm the situation down from both players. They've come together. But as I said, there was no punches thrown. Andrew Henderson, again, in this situation, you take the sting out of the game. You know that you can just let the clock tick down. You kick 2 points, but the next set of 6, that man's men, John Sharp, they're going to be hunting you. They're going to be looking for the mistake, that retribution.
We've got an interesting period of 12 aside now, and Featherstone at some point in this second half must have some possession and must get some of that possession in London's half. Can London maintain the standard of defence they've had for the last hour?
2 more points to the London Broncos tally, and 18-point margin could or would put them up above Featherstone in the table if they can maintain that. A long way to go yet. Both sides, as Phil says, down to 12. Hardman and Keir in the bin. Coming up, still to come on day 1 of the Summer Bash. The curtain coming down before it goes up again tomorrow with Hull Kingston Rovers against the Bradford Bulls. And that's next after the conclusion of this game, which the London Broncos now lead by 24 points to 6.
And they've had the majority of set to 6. They've had 11 more sets than Featherstone. They're both completing the sets. They both our stats are showing over 80% completion rate, so not many mistakes. But the possession that London are having, and were they having that possession, that's why the scoreboard's like it is.
Can Featherstone Rovers find a way back into this game? The margin becoming quite a daunting prospect now as the kick almost gets away.
It's a great catch, wasn't it?
From Bartow.
That's
great
talent,
catch.
that, isn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't where he wanted it to be, but he didn't sulk. He moved as quickly as he could, and he got his hands to the ball to pick it up before it hit the deck.
I love the reaction. There was a sort of Gallic puff of this.
Look, whoa, just below the kneecaps. Pick up and kick in one stride. And it ends up not a bad outcome.
You've got to compliment that skill, haven't you? When the ball's dipping down, you've got to assess the situation, you've got to catch it. You don't know whether someone's going to come out the line and try and get you. Drop it onto your boot and then get that result.
Luke Briscoe took that, and then comes up with the error, Briscoe, and it's picked up by Ben Evans, and Evans trying to go all the way.
Well, that's the second mistake that Luke Briscoe's made, close to his own line.
And it could be costly for the London Broncos, because here's Walker, and Walker to Channing, and Channing dogs it down. And it was costly. Calamitous error from Featherstone Rovers, and it ends up with Michael Channing getting his first try of the season. And Featherstone's prospects of turning this around become more distant. Mike Channing all smiles.
Well, it's a lonely place behind the sticks when you've made a mistake, and Luke Briscoe is trying to spin out the tackle from Ben Evans, loses possession. Ben Evans just plays on. The ball goes to the right side. Sam at the line, he fixes a defender. Then all of a sudden, Jason Walton, he pulls the trigger. He bites in, and there's too much space on the edge. Nice movement, nice shape. Walker with a perfect pass to Channing. That's excellent play from London. Look at this. Nice, in front, commit the defenders. Easy try.
Alex Walker might have thought for a moment hat-tricks on here, but he kept his calm and provided the pass for Channing.
Do you know, it is debatable whether this is a one-on-one strip and whether the strip then goes forward, so that whether that is a knock-on against Ben Evans. We've seen that in recent games, haven't we? One-on-one strips, and the referee said no. Ball back to Featherstone here. He does certainly put his hands on the ball and wrestle it to the ground.
So Luke Briscoe could feel hard done by there.
I've seen a similar situation where Briscoe's side get the ball back and a scrum is formed, but it's irrelevant now here with the 28 points to 6 lead. This is an academic conversion.
Well, it's not for Kieran Dixon. He'd love to get one over, having missed the last two, but this one is on its way, and it looks good. It is. Nice bit of curve on that, and Dixon extends London's lead. 30 points to 6, the scoreline now here at Bloomfield Road. Still 20 minutes to go.
Well, every team needs some brute force, and they need some brilliant skill, and what I think we've seen from the last hour with this London side is a combination of the two. They've been hard and strong in the middle of the field, both with and without the ball, and then when asked to, they've demonstrated the passing and kicking ability to score the points. That is again a superb catch, a contested restart to restart the match here, and Kieran Dixon shown just how skillful he can be up in the air.
Well, that's ironic, because in the first half we were saying that they might be kicking towards him and targeting him, and then he flings himself to claim that one in a real huddle of bodies and came up with it when it could have gone anywhere. Featherstone trying the short restart. Mark Offerdal now joins London from Carcassonne. Now here's Walker, really been impressed with the London Broncos fullback, a Scottish international already. And the kick from Samet is an angled one, just too strong. Briscoe watches that one.
It was a teasing kick, wasn't it? From Jared Samet. He's looking for Kieran Dixon out here on the right-hand side. Featherstone missed 22 tackles in this game. That won't please the coach. London been very solid. That defensive line's been hard to crack, like I said, in the first half.
London were well and truly beaten when they lost at Featherstone back in April, 38 points to 18, but they've recovered from that and they've gone on this winning run. They look as though they're going to extend it against Featherstone. Davis trying his best as ever, plays the ball. Sorry, Phil.
The champions aren't always the team that starts the season well either. It's the team that can improve the most from the first round to the last, and from everything that has been said and written about this London side, what we're hearing about them is their rate of improvement seems more significant than any other side in their division at present. We'll be happy, very happy with what he's just seen from an hour, and particularly if they can maintain that concentration, what they'll need, an 80-minute concentration when we get to the next phase of the season.
Can Featherstone perk things up here? They could do with Corey Aston.
Went for the old show and go, didn't he, at the try line.
Well, they're not done yet. Thackeray on to Briscoe, and Briscoe gets the pass away. They're in the corner with Turner. They're not done yet. And Scott Turner into double figures for this season. Try number 10. He went past 100 just recently when he got 2 tries against Dewsbury.
Well, some good play here. Anthony Thackeray with the double pump, and then Luke Briscoe, the man who's made a couple of mistakes, with a perfect, nicely weighted offload. Look at him when he gets free. Offloads the ball. That's a nice play to Scott Turner, and a nice finish as well.
Well, you pointed out that London haven't missed many tackles, but Channing misses that one on Briscoe, and it's all it took, really, wasn't it, for Featherstone to show their ability. They're better than what we've seen for an hour. If he can put the 2 points over, well, we might just get a very exciting finale to this game.
Corey Aston on this season-long loan from Leeds now, left Sheffield for the Rhinos, and he's pushed that one across the face of the posts. 30 points to 10. Scott Turner with the try, the second Turner to score today, the second Scott Turner to score today. Scott Turner got Oldham underway in the first game of this summer bash. One more to come. Bradford against Hull Kingston Rovers after this.
Well,
there you go.
We thought
Hull Kingston Rovers, Bradford next. Sky Sports 3.
Hull KR, the side that everybody expects to be contesting, you know, closest to replacing Super League, but John Sharp will be hoping his team can improve. And what Andrew Henderson's London side had performed today, you'd have to think they may worry one or two of the sides who dropped down from the Super League, as that kick goes over the sideline. And again, this chance of a revival for Featherstone is assisted here now with the penalty on the halfway line.
Well, that's exactly what they need. Here at Bloomfield Road, it's a football pitch. It's not the length of a rugby pitch. That's the first time they've seen the ball be kicked off the field from halfway. I was expecting more of them today, Bill.
So 15 minutes to go. And another Featherstone Rovers try in quick succession, and they'll send a bit of a turnaround here. Corey Aston trying to find a way through. He was signalling to Davis to come back on his inside, and then took it upon himself. Here's Missy Talapapa now. Seems to recover from that knock to his ankle.
Well, they're all lining up here. They all want the ball.
It's with Keel Carlisle. Tackle just short. Missy Talapapa, and Davis is through! And yes. John Davis, has he got a second?
Well, it went upstairs in the first half, didn't it? He lost possession as he was trying to ground it. Does he get this one, Bill? Or is it lost as he's trying in the act of scoring? He's certainly had a big game, John Davis. 38 tackles. He's offered himself with the ball on every occasion. Does he ground this ball? Well, he's got hold of it. There's no problem here. He's trying to stretch his arms out. The white line's just in front. Look at the concentration on his face as he's trying to get this ball down.
Just needs to touch some part of the white line with his finger still in contact with the ball.
That's a try, yeah. Good effort from John Davis. So I think he's been very impressive. Defensively, he's been solid. Offensively, he's always been there. Perfect. Not a problem. Fingers are still on the ball.
Conclusive evidence. Jay Pitts tries his best, but this is 4 more points to the Rovers.
John Davis, second try of the game. It was fingertip touch. 7th of the season, and Featherstone Rovers are coming back.
Well, here we go. We've seen one come back already when Rochdale did the same against Oldham. Featherstone are hoping here now in the remaining minutes of this match to be inspired by that attempt here by John Davis. He got the ball on the line. The referee thought at first it was no try. He's been corrected, and it's been added to by 2 further points. Corey Aston helps his side get a little bit closer.
30 points to 16. 1 or 2 butterflies for the London Broncos.
Do you know, it's a big effort. There was butterflies for that man when it went upstairs to the video referee. He thought they had the ball. He thought that he grounded it, but there was a bit of doubt in his mind. Well, that man, the reaction from John Sharp down there, but the reaction from that man, Andrew Henderson, when London kicked the ball out of the field of play, that's what led to the field position to that try. They won't be looking for that distance in this kick.
Gets lots of height, and it comes down on the try line. Now then, Featherstone Rovers, 2 tries in 2 minutes. Can they carry on this onslaught on the London defence? Briscoe keeps a hold of the ball.
Well, he's a man you've got to get hold of, the man who offloaded the ball. Richard Moore, compulsive offloader.
Walton. They're getting excited at that Rovers end of the ground. It is a Rovers end of the ground because you've got Featherstone Rovers supporters and Hull Kingston Rovers supporters at one end of the ground.
So do you think there'll be neutral supporters then, the Hull KR fans?
Once a Rover, always a Rover. Here's Frankie Mariano, but he's gone without the ball. And a little bit of anxiety now for Featherstone because they know the clock's against them.
Well, Jared Sammett's never particularly been known for his defence, but he's done okay today, hasn't he? Frankie Mariano's repeatedly run at him, but on that occasion again, Sammett got in front of him, stood strong, forced a mistake, and a little bit of relief there for Andrew Henderson as Rhys Williams, I should say, starts to counter-attack. There's Jared Sammett just getting in front of the big second rower.
So London relieve the pressure and come up the other end of the field. The Simbiners are back on, and Akers is tackled high. That's going to be a penalty, and surely they'll go for 2 points here.
It's good play from Andy Akers. Look at him, he's dummying in to drop the ball off. He's trying to hold up Frankie Mariano, create that space. Frankie Mariano, well, he doesn't fall for it. Just
they don't go
high.
for 2. I would have thought they'd gone for 2.
They just keep the pressure on, Bill, here.
Keep the pressure on, run the clock down. Here is Sammett. Bartow. Elliot Keir back on the field after his spat with his opposite number, Ian Hardman. It's with Mark Offerdale now, but the defenders are there to greet him. Jack Ormond-Royd among them. Elliot Keir. Bartow, who's been very good today. And oh, they're over, and Harrison has gone without the ball.
What a good ball, though, from Sammett. Squared up a defender, created that gap.
It was all on there for Daniel Harrison.
Well, it looked like the winning try, didn't it? We all thought he had the ball, he only had to fall off the line.
Well, he was straight through, and Ian Hardman was on his heels. All he had to do was run straight at him. I'm sure he would have knocked him back. It would have been an amazing tackle to stop Harrison.
Well, there we see his left ankle twisted awkwardly on the inside underneath him.
Scott Turner in a lot of pain there.
Yeah, it looked nasty, didn't it? The way that he falls up, Bartow comes up with the tackle. There's nothing dirty. Traps underneath him. Oh, it doesn't look good.
Featherstone Rovers winger just being helped to his feet.
It's amazing at times just how elastic and pliable some of our bodies are, aren't we? We've seen players twisted and turned and yet get up to play on. Brett Delaney springs to mind from last night, wasn't it, when his knee seemed to buckle underneath him, but we hope he and Turner are going to be okay. He's back up on his feet.
Richard Moore screaming at the sideline, look, let's get on. Scott Turner won't take any further part in this game. And Richard Moore knows that they're running out of time. They need to keep the pressure on. They need to play the game at their speed.
William Bartow, outstanding.
Yeah, he's been tremendous when he's been kicking the ball, whether he's been passing the ball at the line, he's been causing a lot of havoc. Wherever he is, you're looking up as a defender, and let me tell you, he'll terrify the big men. You don't know what he's going to do, whether he's going to take you on, whether he's going to kick it in behind you. But his kicking game has been absolutely exceptional. And that defensive play on Scott Turner, there was nothing dirty in it. It was just the way that Turner fell. I'm very impressed with him, and hopefully, fingers crossed, Scott Turner will be okay, no serious damage.
He seems to be moving a bit better already as he's escorted to the sidelines. Play continues, Featherstone Rovers in possession, and if they are to turn this around, they really have got to cut loose in the last 10 minutes here at Bloomfield Road, where the crowd is eagerly anticipating the conclusion of day one, with the leaders against the Bulls, and Bradford's opportunity to make a point, really. Of course, they're still in the minus as a 40-20 kick comes in, but it's fielded by the very impressive Alex Walker, who was tipped up there and that's going to be a penalty. Touch judge is on, he was upended. Brad Tagg with the tackle, protests his innocence.
Well, Brad Tagg, you could see he just stood his ground, waited for Walker to get to him, gets underneath him and then just upends him. Penalty. You see that he goes past the horizontal, so that again just plays into the hands of London. The Broncos now will be attacking Featherstone's line just as they're getting into the game.
The Bradford Ball supporters, that's the noise you can hear, and I haven't heard Bradford Ball supporters in this sort of mood for a long, long time. They haven't had an awful lot to cheer about, but they're going to make themselves heard here today at Bloomfield Row, that's for sure.
Well, it's a big game for them, isn't it? They've got nothing to lose against Hull KR, the team most fancied to get back in Super League next year.
10 minutes to go in this one, and it's the teams behind them who are really scrapping here, and London Broncos looking to go second. I don't think they'll have done enough if it stays this way, but it'll keep their top four hopes very much on track. Under pressure with the teams behind them on the last here, and Samet floats a pass out to Channing, and Channing bats it back, and that'll be the turnover, and a bit of a scrappy end there.
Well, Jason Walter saying that was a penalty. He was trying to get the ball off Alex Walker, who wouldn't release it. They know that they're running out of time. It's all hands on deck now. The last 10 minutes, everyone's got to be an option. Put the hand up.
Scott Turner, we hear, is got an ankle injury. He's not going to be coming back. Well, there's only 10 minutes to go, not even that now. And some big games to come. And of course, for Featherstone, there's a big cup game to come as well, up against the Rhinos next month in the Challenge Cup quarter-finals, a game you can see on Sky Sports. We'll have coverage of the tie between Salford Red Devils and Wakefield Trinity the night before. Oh, and Corey Aston goes without the ball. And William Bartow scoops it up and could crown a great performance with a try. Fully merited. Yes, indeed. Certainement, rather, from William Bartow. And that rounds off a very, very impressive London Broncos performance. And the coach comes down to the sidelines, must be very happy with the way his side have come up with the goods here today. Comprehensively beaten at Featherstone in April. They haven't lost since then, and this will make it 7 wins in a row.
Well, he shows some tour, doesn't he, William Bartow, and he gets in the clear. You're thinking, can Featherstone close the gap on him? Look at that, the determination. Richard Moore's trying everything to get by, and Luke Briscoe, he's been ever so impressive in this game. Shows he's got a turn of pace as well. There's the mistake, a simple little error from Corey Aston, and he's not waiting around, knows he can't pass the ball to his teammate Rhys Williams. Just goes towards that sideline and scores what will, hopefully, for Andrew Henderson, get the 2 points.
Okay, we've seen his pace, we've seen his kicking and his passing, but what I think has been the most impressive part of his game is his ability and willingness to run at defenders. He's not afraid to get tackled with the ball. And a lot of half-backs, as they progress, think, no, my duty is to pass the ball to people outside them. He keeps the defenders honest. He's run at them, he's tested them, he's had some contact, he's got back up and played the ball. But he's been really, really good, hasn't he, I think, today for the London side, and leads them well. Scored their opponents 2-1 effectively.
Kieran Dixon, if he can extend the London Broncos leads, it'll mean that they would go into second place in the table on points difference if they hang on to this winning margin. And Dixon this time is on target. It's mystifying, this goal-kicking thing, isn't it, the angles, because that looked like exactly the same trajectory as previous kicks, which have been waved away.
Yeah,
Professor Clark.
I don't have a theory. I know the wind earlier was such a swirling one that it's taking some kicks out of direction. We've seen some kicks from restarts go out over the sideline, some go out over the dead ball line as well. Another tricky restart here.
Corey Aston it is, but it's straight into the hands of Kieran Dixon. He must hate this ground, Corey Aston. He's lost twice with Sheffield to the London Broncos. in 2015 and 2016, and now as a member of the Featherstone Rovers side, he's heading for another defeat.
Well, Richard Moore trying to manhandle Kieran Dixon. All the experience that he's got, he knows the game's probably gone away from them now. Kieran Dixon using his footwork at the line. Been very impressed the way that London want to play through the line. Look at this again, another strong carry. You've got to go forward, you've got to win those little battles up front.
Rakika, here is Jared Samet, and that's the first blot on his copybook from Lewis Bienek, who's shown up very well, the 19-year-old. It's the free play. It's with John Davis, who doesn't deserve to be on the losing side. John Davis, 2 tries. He, as usual, has been everywhere for Featherstone.
Totally agree. I think he's been outstanding. Bienek, there's the mistake. But he's definitely been one of the standout players, Davis. Some impressive performances in this game.
Well, William Bartow's caught the eye, but there's been a good performance as well from Jared Samet, or Jack Sparrow as he was once called. He's got another Rakika with the hit, but Jack Sparrow, Jared Samet, he's now Jam Sandwich. Apparently that's his social media ID, Jam Sandwich. I think Jack Sparrow's got a bit more of a sort of pizzazz about it.
Well, Featherstone played to the very end here. Ormerod with a good carry, he kept the ball alive, found a teammate. The Rovers supporters that they can finish with something to help the journey home.
I'm not sure they'll be heading home yet. There's Blackpool on the doorstep. As Thackeray hoists the kick and Dixon comes for it. It's claimed by Walton, but Walton's offload comes up for Daniel Harrison, and London have it back.
Well, he was just loitering with intent, wasn't he? The former NRL star, Daniel Harrison, just waiting, sitting behind. He knows that that ball's there, could be dangerous.
London then, it'll be 6 in a row for them. Featherstone's great winning run coming to an end after their 6 wins in a row. Just shows how competitive it is at the top of the table. Okay, Hull Kingston Rovers are out in front, but behind them, Featherstone, London, Toulouse, Halifax and Toulouse we'll see tomorrow.
Can't wait to see that game tomorrow.
Oh, it's going to be a big game. Dixon is chasing. Dixon gets it. It could be a hat-trick for Walker. Unselfish. It's Dixon who'll finish. Kieran Dixon gets the final try of the game, surely. Walker could have had a hat-trick if he'd put his mind to it. Instead, he set it up on a plate for Kieran Dixon. And London round off a comprehensive victory.
Well, when he's on, isn't he, that man, Kieran Dixon? I think he's been helped by some of his teammates, but what another good kick. The ball bounces, it beats Missy Talapapa. Dixon's first to react. He gives it to his teammate who's pushing up in support, who unselfishly passes the ball back to him. Nice kick from Ackers, finds the space, ball bounces up. The nice supporting play to Channing, who in turn gives it back to his wingman. In an impressive performance from the Broncos.
Did Mike Channing a disservice there. It was his support. And Dixon was the beneficiary. Now then, can he round this off? London up to 2nd in the table. They'll go above Featherstone. Steve McGee crouched in the background. Well, everything seems to change at London season by season. Well, not always, but Steve McGee is always there with that kicking tee. Steve McGee and the kicking tee. Kieran Dixon. 2 more points for him. And London 42-16 the scoreline.
Well, London have done several things better than Featherstone today, but chasing the kicks with a little bit more interest is one of them. And as we saw there with that bounce going in their favour, they had more men around the ball when it came up in their favour. They've completely outplayed Featherstone, and the question is now, can they go on from this? Can they improve even further?
Oh,
not in the remainder of this game, but for the next few weeks before we get to round 23. How good can they be? I'm assuming they're going to be a top 4 side, and we're going to see them playing against teams from the Super League in the months of July and August. How competitive will they be at that point? They have a strong base, they've got great foundations on which to go.
And what you've seen from London in today's game, you would have to say that they've got enough in their armoury to worry some of the Super League sides.
They've certainly got some hard running forwards. They've laid a very good platform. The likes of Mark Offerdal, Rokika, Mark Ione, particularly Ioane.
On the back of that, intelligent halves, well, nice outside backs.
They worried some Super League sides last year. They worried Salford, and just look where they are now.
Knock on from Featherstone, who've come up with too many errors. Luke Cooper putting that ball down.
Well, they've got nothing to lose, have they? With just under 2 minutes to go in this game. The mistake, probably when they're going into contact, he's thinking, I'm going to have to offload the ball, I'm going to have to hit, I'm going to have to spin. John Sharp knows that it's not been a good day at the office for his side.
And Featherstone still seeking their first Summer Bash win then after this. Beaten last year comprehensively by Halifax. They've put on a better showing this time round, but London have had more cutting edge for them, and the kicking game in particular for the Broncos has been devilish from Bartow. And they've had the players to finish it as well. Alex Walker has shown up well, this young fullback.
Well, they fight really hard not to be turned onto the back. Look, they're always trying to win. They know that when you go into that tackle, the opposition's going to try and turn you. Just try and buy an extra second or two. Again, another strong carry here. Again, lands on the front, plays the ball quickly. Look how much space you've got now to kick the ball.
Samet, little chip and chase from him, but Thackeray picks it up. Hardman then is trying to benefit from that, but finds he's got Daniel Harrison right in front of him and can't make any progress. Oh, Samoan ducks under the challenge of a Fijian there. Very wise move from Missy Talapapa as Junior Rokika was looking for him. Walton, nice ball back in field to Hardman. Featherstone trying to at least finish with a flourish here. Hardman trying to get the pass away. Scrambling defence from London on the 40-metre line. The seconds counting down now. The ball comes up for London. It's in the hands of Daniel Harrison. And the hooter will sound to signal a very, very satisfying win for Andrew Henderson and his team of London Broncos players. Little pat, consoling pat perhaps for James Cunningham, whose performance was cut short by injury. And Featherstone Rovers suffer their heaviest defeat of the season here at Bloomfield Road. Dejected Rovers players. A roar goes up as Bradford and Hull Kingston Rovers take the field to warm up for the final game. The pitch will be vacated by Featherstone Rovers and the London Broncos, and London will head home with 2 precious points in the bag and enough points on the board to put them up at second in the table. In the end, an emphatic victory. Kieran Dixon among the try scorers, and several of the tries crafted by the boots of the French international William Bartow, who had an outstanding game, not surprisingly man of the match, and he's with Angela.
He is with me as well. William Bartow, you got to try at the end, but you kicked them to death, really, didn't you, in that game?
Yeah, it was a very tough game. We know it was going to be a very tough game, but all the guys switch on, and honestly, we were ready to a big fight today.
Quite clinical in the first half. John Sharp, the opposite number coach, said that you beat them in the kicking game, you beat them all over the park. They needed to counter that in the second half, and they couldn't.
Yeah, nothing was perfect in first half, but half time you say we need to more complete, dominate them. We did it in the first 10 minutes, and we showed a good character. We came back after 10 minutes and we dominated the game until the end.
How did it feel to go over for a try?
Yeah, it was good. I just need to run, and yeah, I'm really happy after this, right?
Yeah, you should be very happy. It takes you back up to joint with Featherstone in the table now on 22 points. You need to stay in that top 4.
Yeah, exactly. It's our objective. We're going to do our best to finish in the top 2, and yeah, let's focus. We need to be better again next weekend.
Congratulations, William. Thank you for talking to us. I think we now have Andrew Henderson. Andrew, you must be very happy. It was a great performance, start to finish.
Yeah, again, I thought it was a really good team performance from us. I thought we showed a lot of desire and attitude defensively, especially in that first half. We had to absorb quite a bit of pressure on our own line, but the boys kept working for each other and turning up. I thought over the course of the game, I thought we were pretty disciplined in what we did with the ball. Got a little bit scratchy at times and went away from from script a little bit, but I thought overall, I thought the middle were really good today for us, laid a really good platform. Thought we offered a few attacking options out wide, and Featherstone were good though at times. I thought they handled our shape pretty well today, but again, I just think we had that little bit more desire and attitude about us today, and I think we're deserved winners in the end.
Made up for April. You lost against them in April, so it made up for that.
Yeah, look, we're a different team from what we were at that point of the year. It wasn't the London Broncos that I know that we've become, but certainly in the last 6 weeks we've seen that transformation, and I think we're back to where we need to be. And I'm just really pleased with the last today and for the fans that have come. And it's been a great occasion, and like I said, another good result for us today.
How was your man of the match? Well, he was a Sky man of the match. What did you think of his performance?
Yeah, Will's been great for us. He's been great for us all season, to be fair, even when we weren't playing really well at the start of the year. He's really developing into a leader for us on the field. He's controlling our games well. His game management's been excellent. And he's a good player. He's a quality player. And I'm pleased that we've got a player of visibility at our club moving forward.
That's great. Thank you very much, Andrew.
Thanks,
congratulations. We've got John Sharp with us now. John, you said it at half-time. They were kicking well. They were doing quick around the ruck. They were everything in the first half, and they managed to carry it on in the second as well.
Yeah, the issues were identified at half-time, but we just didn't have the ability to cope with them. I thought London played really well, kicked extremely well. I think it was 4 tries from kicks. But the ruck area, second best. I thought they ran harder, tackled harder. I thought, you look at the strip that we wore today, it was a different strip, and it looked like a different team as well, just not what I've seen all year. Really disappointed.
Disappointed with that result, but you're still up there at the top, and it's a long season, so lots to work on from this game.
Yeah, I think there's, we've come up against a team that's played extremely well and high percentage rates as well, whereas for us, it just wasn't us today at all, and we've got to address that. We've got to look into the reasons why we played like we played, but credit to them, they played well today. They really did.
Thanks for talking to us, John. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt John Sharp will come up with the reasons for that performance for the Featherstone Rovers. He had a half-time team talk to deliver to his players when they were 14-0 down. There was a little response in the second half, but in the end it was 42 points to 16 to London. Too good by a long way. Phil Clark, first to score in the second half, were Featherstone. You felt with the John Davies try that they were back in the game, that they would have a chance as they closed the score to 14 points to 6.
Well, they did score early, didn't they? But I think then the mistake was after that, really, then, that within a few minutes they were back at the other end of the field and they weren't able to defend close to the try line long enough, well enough. And that, I suppose, summed up the problem. On a pitch that's shorter than most rugby league fields here, probably by about 10 metres or so, teams are going to get chances near their opponent's try line. And Alex Walker's conversion of that kick was probably my favourite try of the whole match. He just had a desire when he set up after that kick. He knew it had to be his. And the skill as well shown. It wasn't just about the kicking. The passing play, so Michael Channing's try was high quality too.
That was with a couple in the sin bin. Then Featherstone hit back with a pair of tries of their own. A brace in 2 minutes.
Well, a rare miss, wasn't it, there before Turner scored for that try. A missed tackle for Michael Channing. And then you got a chance that maybe, just maybe, the comeback was on. John Davis's wonderful effort there.
13 points to 16 then, but William Barthow and Kieran Dixon, I mean, two lethal weapons, and Barthow in particular.
Well, he doesn't look quick enough that he would score from 75 metres out, but he's easily outpaced here. Luke Briscoe couldn't really shorten the gap, and neither could Richard Moore. A great effort that I suppose summed up what was a good performance. He's not just a kicker of the ball, he's got the pace to run it as well. And then the kick here and the follow-up of the chase. Awkward bounce on a hard surface here with dry conditions. It's fell first to Kieran Dixon. He's interchanged with Channing, got the ball back and summed up really what was to be a brilliant performance for London there. They've played well. They were physical and aggressive at the start of the match, and they showed the ability to entertain and attack later on.
And I would imagine Phil lay down a marker of sorts. They recorded their 11th win of the season. Move level on points now with Featherstone. They will still be behind them on points difference. But to beat a side so convincingly when you might meet them again later on in the year, well, that's a psychological advantage to you?
Well, I think if you look at the previous results and what we've seen today, in dry weather, on a dry surface with good conditions, this seems to suit the London side. And one would imagine with the summer approaching, it's only going to get better for London. They've got good skill. They seem a well-disciplined side with experience and enthusiasm. And at the moment, things are looking very, very positive for the London Broncos.
But Featherstone still in second, London in third, both chasing the team we're going to see next. Hull Kingston Rovers still sitting pretty at the top of the championship table. They face the bottom of the table, Bradford Bulls now. There is a huge amount of supporters from both of those clubs in here in Bloomfield Road for the last game on day one of the Summer Bash. We'll have all the action coming up for you live on Sky Sports as Tim Sheen brings Hull Kingston Rovers to town and the Bradford Bulls and some wet weather lie in wait.
He knew he'd put the shoulder, the big hit underneath the ball.
Any man, any occasion, Giacomo fits.
Forget 2G, 3G, even Honey G. 4G is where it's at. Right, Engineer Ed? Right. And EE's got 4G in more places than any other network. And we're going further for all of you.
That's another 4G masked up.
Carter family, say hello to Catman.
Just testing our 4G boosting drone.